Hi guys, how you doing? Just wanted to kind of just show one more, just to make a part two of that video that I had before. So I used that same applet and just did screenshots because right here, essentially what I did is I did a side-by-side comparison of the same graph, but one particular point that we took and we moved upwards right here. So this point was originally at 99.1. And what I did is I moved that point that was initially right there, and I moved it all the way upwards. And right here, I'm showing right now what happened with the least square regression line. Looks like the least square regression line just kind of moved upwards also a little bit. Okay, and did some other things that we'll discuss in a second. And I want to talk about what effect that has on R squared, S, B sub 1, and B sub 0. Okay, so one thing. Remember, this is a residual plot right here. So you see right here, there should be almost no residual right here at 99. And there is not. It's right there just basically at 0. Right here, okay, now there is a major residual right here at 99. It's like right there. It's from about, 35 to 9. So 35. So minus 9 is about 26. So the residual here should be about 26, and it is. You see right there? There it is at about 26. Perfect. Okay. So that is what a residual plot is. Again, just as a repeat from the first video, as if you have points all over the place right here, that is a good thing. That shows that a linear model is appropriate, and we can use a least square regression line. All right. So now that we change right here from 99.1 to 99.35, okay, we moved a point up vertically. What is going to happen right here? So let me erase this. That's actually not correct. So R is the correlation. Remember, the correlation is actually just the direction and the strength. Okay. So let's see here. What's going to happen? Well, the direction is still negative. That didn't change at all, okay? And right here, the strength of the correlation, well, that definitely changed. Obviously, it's not going to be as strong of a correlation if you have, an additional residual. Strength means like how tight it is, right, basically. So in this case, it's going to be negative, but not quite as strong. So if the original R was, let's say, closer to, in this case, it would have been -1, then it'll be less close to -1. So it actually should go up a little bit. Okay, R squared, the coefficient of determination. So R squared, remember, is the percent of variability that is represented by the least square regression line. So it's percent of variability of the Y variable that's reflected in the least square regression line. Accounted for, I should say, by the least square regression line. Okay, so that's kind of similar to R right here, of course, right here, but R squared right here, it's going to be a percentage. So the more residual, it's actually going to be, in this case, it will be lower. All right, it's going to be a lower percentage. Okay, if it's a high percentage, that means, hey, it's a pretty strong line. If it's a lower percentage, not quite as good. So this will, the more that you have, of course, standard deviations, the lower the percentage it will be. More that you have residual, the lower the percentage will be. S, well, obviously, we gave ourselves a larger residual. So of course S is going to go up, that's obvious. S is just the average value of the residuals. All right, the average distance from the actual minus predicted of the response variable. Slope. Okay, well, let's take a look here. We can just kind of look at slope right here, what's going to happen right here. So right here I have a pretty negative slope, right? And in this case right here, it looks like it's flattening. The line essentially right here is kind of gone from right here. Now this one, just drawing it right on there so we can look right here. It's kind of flattened a little bit. It's kind of more like this right here. It's somewhat flattened. So the slope was very, very negative here, and it's a little less negative. So the slope actually right here, if it's less negative, that means it increases, right? So the slope actually should increase right here. Okay. Sorry. Next, right here, the B sub 0. Well, this will be easy to see right here. Okay, so it looked like right here also, right here, the original y-intercept is at 45, and then it went down right there to 35. So in this right here, the y-intercept is going to decrease. So you just kind of, when they ask a question like this, you have to picture in your head what's going to happen right here if I move a point up. So it's going to basically take that point and move it up right there. Okay, it kind of just like flattens it and brings it right here, the y-intercept, down a little bit. Okay, so let's take a look at the actual data and see if we can confirm this. So I said that, yes, R right here, as you notice right here, becomes farther, is not as close to either -1 or +1. In this case, it would be -1. So R is not as close as to -1, but it stays negative. So R is not as strong, but it's still negative. R squared, what did I say about that? I said that R squared will go down because remember, R squared is the percent of variability accounted for by the least square regression line. And it went, yes, right here, way down. Okay, very much. Okay, I said that S obviously will increase, of course. Standard deviation of the residuals, that's just basically the average distance, okay, from the actual minus the predicted. So yeah, of course that went way up right there. And now let's see if our slope and y-intercept, what that changed right here. So let's see here. This slope is right here. That's 42.49. This slope went down. So the slope decreased. Remember, I said right here, the slope essentially right here got flatter. So if the slope gets flatter, that it gets less negative right here. So I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. My fault. Ignore what I just said. There we go. So the slope right here, it gets less negative. So the slope increases. I'm sorry about that, guys. Circled the wrong one. So yeah, fix that. The slope actually right here is going to increase right here, -0.43, and then it increases to -0.291. The y-intercept though right here decreases, as you see right here, 42 to 37. So there you go. All right, there's everything right there. It kind of just all sums it up for you. All right, hopefully this was helpful.